Good afternoon students. Last class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು methods of preparation of aldehydes and ketones that we have discussed. So the next method, last class we discussed Rosenmann's reduction reaction, Stephen's reduction, right. Next one, from nitriles and esters. In this reaction, the nitriles undergoes reduction in presence of a reducing agent called as dibol H followed by hydrolysis giving aldehyde. What is this dibol H? It is diisobutyl aluminium hydride. See, the reducing agent used in this reaction is diisobutyl aluminium hydride followed by hydrolysis giving aldehyde. See, the important is the reducing agent. For example, this is the reaction. CH3 CH double bond CH2 Cl. If you number this pairing chart 1 2 3 4 5 6, there are 6 carbon atoms, therefore it is hex. At position 4 we have double bond, so it is En. It contains cyanide functional groups, therefore it is nitrile. So hex 4 in nitrile. This is the compound. See, when this compound undergoes reduction in presence of diisobutyl aluminium hydride followed by hydrolysis gives hex. Just Cn is converted into CHO. That is the only part which is taking in the reaction. That is the part. Cn is converted into CHO. Remaining this group remains same. Therefore, it is if you number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms. Hex. At position 4 we have double bond, so it is En. Because of the presence of aldehyde functional group, it is Al. So hex 4 in enol. This is the reaction. Similarly, esters can also be converted into aldehydes by using a reducing agent called as dibol H. So diisobutyl aluminium hydride. So last class we discussed the nitriles can be converted into aldehydes by using Stephen reduction reaction, where in that the reducing agent is completely different. Using the same reactant, we get the same product by using a different reducing agent. That is the only difference here. The reducing agent is different here. So esters can also be converted into aldehydes by using a reducing agent called as a diisobutyl aluminium hydride. So the next one is from hydrocarbons. This is very important. In this heading we come across two very important named reactions. Now first one, that is oxidation of methyl benzene. In this we have Itard's reaction. See, in this Itard's reaction, the oxidizing agent used is CrO2Cl2. What is CrO2Cl2? This is called as a chromyl chloride. You have come across this reaction, this chromyl chloride reaction in the first year PUC practicals, where you analyze the given salt. This is the Chromyl chloride test is used for the conformation of chloride radical, where in a dry test tube a salt containing chloride radical to this concentrated sulfuric acid, and before adding concentrated sulfuric acid, potassium dichromate crystals are added. Later on, this concentrated sulfuric acid is added. You get orange red vapors. So that is orange red vapors. That is, they are called as chromal chloride vapors. They are the vapors of chromal chloride. So the formula of the chromal chloride is CrO2Cl2 in CS2. This chromal chloride acts as an oxidizing agent. So in this chromal chloride acts as an oxidizing agent in CS2. We get a complex of chromium. This is called a complex of chromium, which on hydrolysis, this complex of chromium on hydrolysis gives a benzaldehyde. In previous examination, name the oxidizing agent used in Etort's reaction. That was the question appeared in the last year. So in Etort's reaction, the oxidizing agent used is a CrO2Cl2 in presence of CS2. So this chromal chloride forms a complex of chromium with the toluene, which on hydrolysis gives a benzaldehyde. Similarly, toluene undergoes oxidation in presence of CrO3 and acetic anhydride to form an intermediate which on hydrolysis gives benzaldehyde. Same reactant, products the same, but the difference is the oxidizing agent. So if you use chromal chloride in presence of CS2, this reaction is called as Etort's reaction. Very important reaction it is. They give this equation and ask to write what is the name of this reaction, or they will ask what is the oxidizing agent used in this Etort's reaction. So toluene can be converted into benzaldehyde by use of two oxidizing agents. One is chromal chloride in CS2 and another one is CrO3 in acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride. So the next one is toluene, which on chlorination in presence of a diffused sunlight gives a substitution reaction takes place at the side chain, giving a benzol chloride. And this benzol chloride on heating with water, on heating with water at 383 Kelvin, it gives benzaldehyde. See what happens when this benzol chloride is heated with water. See, the two chlorine atoms which are attached to the side chain of the benzene ring, they are first replaced by water. So both the Cl groups are replaced by OH groups when they are heated with water. OH, the Cl atoms are replaced by the OH. Say, when the carbon atom contains only one OH group, that is stable. But to the same carbon atom, when two OH groups are attached, that is unstable. Therefore, it loses a molecule of water. Immediately, it loses a molecule of water, forming this aldehyde group CHO. So therefore, this part is not given in this reaction, and that is not required also. So you can understand how this reaction takes place by writing this. So directly you can write benzol chloride on heating with water at 383 Kelvin gives a benzaldehyde. Next one, very important, that is Gattermann-Koch reaction. So many times this was appeared in your previous examination. Write the equation for the synthesis of benzaldehyde from Gattermann-Koch reaction, or what is the name of this reaction? What is the catalyst used in Gattermann-Koch reaction? Name the reactants used in Gattermann-Koch reaction. So these are the questions that we expect from this heading. See, when benzene reacts with carbon monoxide and HCl in presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride as a catalyst, or we use Cuprous chloride as a catalyst. So the catalyst used in Gattermann-Koch reaction, either we can use anhydrous aluminium chloride or CuCl, that is cuprous chloride. It gives benzaldehyde. Next one, preparation of ketones from cyanides and Grignard reagent. Preparation of ketones from Grignard reagent and nitriles, that is the cyanides. When cyanide reacts with a Grignard reagent, an addition product is obtained. This addition product, which on hydrolysis gives a ketone. So this is the example that is given in the notes. So directly they gives this equation. Suppose if it is up here, nitrile reacts with the Grignard reagent to form an addition compound which on hydrolysis gives this ketone. This is the preparation of ketones from Grignard reagent using cyanides. So the last method of preparation, that is Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. What do you mean by Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction? See, when benzene reacts with acyl chloride in presence of a catalyst, which is the catalyst used in Friedel-Crafts reaction? It is anhydrous aluminium chloride. So in presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride, so the hydrogen atom which is present on the carbon atom, that goes with the Cl of this RCOCl to give a ketone plus HCl. For example, if we take CH3 in place R, we get acetyl chloride, or what we call ethanoyl chloride. Ethanoyl chloride. So this ethanoyl chloride reacts with the benzene in presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride. It gives acetophenone. This is the product obtained in this reaction. Suppose in place of alkyl group, if you write a phenyl group C6H5, then it is called Friedel-Crafts benzolation reaction. Benzolation reaction. So benzene reacts with the benzoyl chloride. We get benzophenone in presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride as a catalyst. This is how this reaction takes place, and it gives benzophenone. It is also called as there are two C6H5 groups, therefore it is diphenyl. Because of the presence of ketone functional group, it is ketone. So hence the name of this compound is diphenyl ketone, or what we call a benzophenone. This reaction can also be written like this. In place of this ring, we can write C6H5, C6H5H or C6H6. So for our convenient, I wrote C6H6 as a C6H5H. This H goes with the Cl as HCl in presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride to give benzophenone. So these are the methods of preparation of aldehydes and ketones. See, all the named reactions in this heading are very, very important. Very, very important. Next one, chemical properties. See, I am discussing the chemical properties of both aldehydes and ketones which are in common. The properties which are common to both aldehydes and ketones. See, the CO group which is present in either aldehyde or ketone, it is a polar group. See, this oxygen is more negative than carbon atom. As a result, it drags the shared pair of electrons towards itself, creating a positive charge on this carbonyl carbon. Therefore, because of creating the positive charge on this carbon atom by this oxygen atom, this carbon attracts the electron-rich centers, which are called as a nucleophile. Therefore, it undergoes addition reaction, that too nucleophilic addition reaction. This is the reason why both aldehydes and ketones undergoes nucleophilic addition reaction. They won't ask why they undergoes nucleophilic addition reaction. They ask the examples. See, in this nucleophilic addition reaction, we use two reagents. One is called hydrogen cyanide and another one is sodium bisulfite. One is hydrogen cyanide and another one is sodium bisulfite. Now let us take first one, hydrogen cyanide, HCN. Again, this carbonyl group, C double bond O, this oxygen is more electronegative than this carbon and hence it attracts this shared pair of electrons towards itself, creating a positive charge on this carbon atom. As this HCN, hydrogen cyanide, as this in this hydrogens and H plus, H carries positive charge and Cn carries negative charge. Cn minus is the nucleophile. So this positively charged carbon atom attracts this nucleophile, that is Cn minus, and this O minus attracts this H plus, forming the COHCN. Now this compound, these compounds are called as a cyanohydrin. So either aldehyde or ketone reacts with, undergoes addition reaction with hydrogen cyanide, gives corresponding cyanohydrin. For example, if you take formaldehyde, acetaldehyde, benzaldehyde, acetone, acetophenol, out of these 5 compounds, he may ask any one of the example, any one of the compound reacts with hydrogen cyanide, write the reaction and what is the name of the product formed. So you can expect this question. So when formaldehyde reacts with hydrogen cyanide, gives formaldehyde cyanohydrin. Similarly, acetaldehyde gives acetaldehyde cyanohydrin. Benzaldehyde gives benzaldehyde cyanohydrin. Acetone gives acetone cyanohydrin. Acetophenone gives acetophenone cyanohydrin. So you have to write all these 5 reactions, all these taking 5 compounds, when they react with hydrogen cyanide gives these compound, that is in general corresponding cyanohydrin, formaldehyde, and now just now I explained all the 5 reactions with hydrogen cyanide. So you have to write down the reaction because in your examination you can ask any one of the examples. So therefore that is important. Now let us take the mechanism, how this reaction takes place. Very, very important. See, the nucleophile Cn minus is generated in the presence of base. This HCN gives a nucleophile, that is a Cn minus. Now in the first step, this Cn minus attaches to this carbon. See, before attacking of this Cn minus to this carbonyl carbon, what is the hybridization? It is sp2 carbonyl carbon. It is sp2 hybridized. When the nucleophile attaches to this carbon atom, so it is converted into sp3 hybridization. So the attack of this Cn minus to this carbonyl carbon is the first step, which is a slow step. Then the attack of this proton which is present in H2O. So that is first step, which is the second step after the attachment of this H plus to this carbo, that is a O minus. It gives a corresponding cyanohydrin. So this is a very important mechanism. They will ask it for 2 marks. Write the mechanism of addition of hydrogen cyanide to carbonyl compound. Next, addition of sodium bisulfite. See, carbonyl compound undergoes addition reaction with sodium bisulfite, giving a white crystalline precipitate of sodium bisulfite. This is a test used to distinguish the carbonyl compounds with functional groups like alcohols, amines, etc. So this is a characteristic reaction of carbonyl compound. So it gives a white crystalline precipitate. Those compounds which contains carbonyl functional group, they react with sodium bisulfite, a saturated solution of sodium bisulfite, giving a white crystalline precipitate of sodium bisulfite. This is the mechanism how this reaction takes place. This is step 1, step 2. See in the step 1, this is HSO3 minus attaches to this carbonyl carbon, giving SO3H, and this oxygen atom attracts Na plus. And in the step 2, there is a transfer of proton. Proton is transferred from SO3H to O minus, and as a result we get a compound of a white crystalline precipitate of corresponding sodium bisulfite. Corresponding sodium bisulfite. For example, see, formaldehyde reacts with sodium bisulfite, gives a white crystalline precipitate of formaldehyde sodium bisulfite. Similarly, you have to write down the equation when acetaldehyde reacts with the sodium bisulfite, giving acetaldehyde sodium bisulfite. Benzaldehyde gives benzaldehyde sodium bisulfite. Acetone gives acetone sodium bisulfite. So these reactions you have to write down. Next, if we take this acetophenone, see, this is the structure of acetophenone. This acetophenone does not react with sodium bisulfite, or else this acetophenone does not gives a white crystalline precipitate with sodium bisulfite. For both the questions, answer remains the same. Acetophenone does not gives a white crystalline precipitate because of steric hindrance. What do you mean by steric hindrance? See, if you see the structure of this acetophenone, this is the structure. The nucleophile here is a bulky group, HSO3 minus, that is a bulky group, and the attachment of this HSO3 minus to this carbonyl carbon is difficult because of this, because there is no space for the attachment of this HSO3 minus in 3-dimensional space, I am telling. So HSO3 minus, it is difficult to add this nucleophile to this carbonyl carbon, and this is called as a steric hindrance. Steric hindrance. This is a very, very important point. So this question was previously appeared. Why acetophenone does not react with, give reason why acetophenone does not react with the sodium bisulfite. This is due to steric hindrance. Similarly, benzophenone also does not react with the sodium bisulfite. That is also due to steric hindrance. So this is a very important point. Why acetophenone does not react with or does not gives a white crystalline precipitate with the sodium bisulfite. See, this completes the addition reactions of hydrogen cyanide and sodium bisulfite. So next we take the condensation reaction in the next class.